Hey folks, welcome back to another Q&A session. Thank you all so much for your questions. I'm going to get into them in just a second. But first, if you need any specific personalized help, please do get in touch. Send me a message at info@eczemahealing.org or just leave a comment under this video and we'll get in touch with you. We have an online eczema healing workshop set up with my friend, my naturopath friend Rebecca. We can work with you through this healing process, which can be extremely overwhelming if you're new. Or work with one of us personally, one-to-one. I've had some great success stories with my clients just recently. And so if you want to be one of those next success stories, please get in touch and we can talk about working together one-to-one. Some of the questions this week, we can see I really need to have a conversation with you to get deep into exactly what's going on with you. I can answer on a surface level, but I really just want to know more information, ideally. So I would love to be able to have consultations with all of you, but there just isn't enough hours in the week to do that. But with that being said, let's get into your questions. So Aaron Marcus Clark says, I've been aware of spinach, avocados and broccoli seeming worsening my eczema and stopping eating them a while ago. After doing a bit of I guess you mean research, I found all the foods were high in salicylates. However, I'm starting to find it difficult to enjoy the plant-based diet and hit the daily recommended vitamin intake without them. Avocados are fats. I'm allergic to nuts and fish. I'm also intolerant to, I'm not sure if I should eat a little or avoid it at all during the healing process. And a dark leafy green that provides that nutrition similar to spinach rather than eating kale every day, which is getting bland. Is this a case where I should consider supplementation for fats and potentially a B complex? Also, and this bit was cut off from the screenshot here, also are issues with dealing with these foods likely to improve? I have heard mixed answers over the internet. Aaron, thank you for your question. And this is definitely one of those ones where I really would just love to sit down and talk through your case with you. But the first thing to say is the eczema healing process is not a one size fits all. There are different people in different places and certain parts of it are more relevant than others. And what I'm deducing here from what you're saying is you're on the whole foods plant-based diet, but you're trying to daily hit up all of the vitamins and minerals that you need, or that chronometer says that you need. And really, that's if you're in a chronic state right now and you're trying to detoxify, that really isn't high on your list of priorities. There might be people around you, and it can be really disconcerting at the start of the process where you go whole foods plant-based. You start cleaning out, detoxifying, having loads of bowel movements, you lose weight. And people are now saying, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. This shouldn't be happening. And sometimes it's right for you to look a bit deficient along the process because you're shedding a whole lot of diseased tissue at the start of the process. You don't want that stuff hanging around on you. And so high-level nutrition is not so important at the start of the process. Detoxification and shedding off of diseased tissue, that's what you're trying to do at the start. You're trying to eliminate, you're trying to get rid of loads of stuff. You're trying to eat as simply as possible. I wouldn't worry too much about going deficient in stuff at the start because it's going to take you months to really build up deficiencies. Worry about that stuff further down the line. I don't know at which point you are in the process though. So focus on that first. Get your detoxification down and then you can move into thinking and worrying a bit more about high-level nutrition and getting all of your trace vitamins and minerals into your diet each day or each week. As far as whether these problems with these foods will continue, most probably not, unless you have a specific allergy. Remember the differences between the allergies and the intolerances. The intolerances are likely to change. Your allergies, if they're anaphylactic or that sort of thing, then they're probably not going to change, or not really. So should you consider supplementation for fats, potentially B complex? I don't like isolated supplements. I don't like the things that you get from health food stores that are just dead, isolated vitamins and minerals. I don't like those. I don't think that the body knows what to do with that. I think you should get this as much as possible from food. But like I said, don't worry too much at the start about nutrition deficiencies because right now you're trying to detoxify. You're trying to just give your digestive system a rest. Eat really simple foods. Maybe eat 4 or 5 ingredients total all day, all week, all month for a bit and give your body a proper break and maybe do a bit of juice fasting or liquidarian diet, whatever works with you to maximize the rest that your digestive system experiences. But if you want supervision with this and you want to go into detail, then please do get in touch. I hope that answers your question. Whole food supplementation, I'm a big fan of. If you want to include some algae, blue-green algae, all that good stuff, and that's going to boost up your nutrient levels as well. I better move on to some of the questions that have come under Instagram. AB says, hey Greg, if your body has an issue with metabolizing sugar, is it a good idea to stop eating fruit? Because ever since I started eating way more fruit, I seem to sleep for like 4 hours and then be wide awake. Very frustrating, as sleep is important for healing. Do you believe really that the metabolization of sugar is what is keeping you up? The reason I ask is, for most people who are having trouble sleeping when they first move to this diet lifestyle, is firstly the body just adjusting to the new type of food, but also a whole lot less food is being taken in because people are not yet eating the volume and the calorific density that their body is used to. And remember, a whole load of your rest and sleep comes because you have to digest food and prepare energy for the next day. And when you're not doing that, your body just doesn't need that level of rest anymore. And so you feel sort of restless because you feel like you need that rest and sleep. What I would say is, if you're resting, if your eyes are closed, the room's dark, but you're not actually asleep, don't sweat it too much. Don't worry too much about it. Make sure you're just getting rest. That's really important. And if you need to sleep, your body will send you into that sleep pattern. If you're having issues metabolizing sugar, then what you'll find is increased levels of candida, increased itching, increased irritation in general from eating high sugary foods. So you can put that to the test by all means, as much as you're willing to experiment with that. Moving on, a question from Aaron Garcia. Hi Greg, any advice or techniques on when during a flare-up occurs more bearable or extinguish the flare-up more quickly during recovery stage? As you can imagine, I had to ask for clarification on what this question was. And Erin says, sorry, a protocol to control your eczema flare-up better. So I said, yes, I've got lots of information about this. Please get a copy of the Complete Guide to Healing Eczema if you haven't done so already. It's the best £12 you'll spend on healing your skin. My full protocol recommendations are in there. But for now, as a quick answer, a protocol to control your eczema flare-up better. Rest, green juices, maximize your bowel movements if you can. Do that through going for walks and exercising. Clear your body out as much as possible, and that is the best way to control an eczema flare-up. I don't recommend any creams, any drugs, any potions. Just good, whole, restful, natural techniques. Those are the best things you can do to control an eczema flare-up. Moving on to some questions from YouTube. Going to keep this short. Hi Greg, what are your thoughts on green tea? If it's caffeinated, I'd stay away from it. If not, then sure, go ahead. No problems with that at all. The last question here from Sandra Poku. Hi Greg, my eczema is stuck and not moving. My main issue is my gut health is really bad after being on antipsychotics for 2 years. Can you provide me with strong gut health pointers? So by pointers, you mean signals to look for in your gut. I'm going to assume that's what you mean. As to its health, well, firstly, if your bowel movements are not great, then there's something going on digestively that's not fantastic. And if you're experiencing any of the leaky gut symptoms, like eating a wide variety of foods that are causing you to itch or flare or feel like they're not digesting properly, then you've probably got still damaged villi or leaky gut. Those will be the main pointers. If you've got any sort of IBD, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or if you've got any sort of bloating, gas, those are all things that were telling you that your gut is not in particularly amazing health. As to what you do next, kind of depends on which direction you're going to go, but maybe that'll be your next question, and perhaps we'll answer that one next week. I better wrap this up now because we are out of time. But I hope those questions from those other people help those of you listening who didn't ask any questions. If you have questions of your own, use any of these mediums to get in touch and we will answer your question next week. Thanks for watching. You're free to go. and I'll see you next Wednesday.